Hi, Carolina. How are you?
Hello, Felicia. How are you? So good to see you.
Thank you very much for accepting to do this interview. And for those who don't know, Carolina is the marketing manager at Stepwest, the famous agency that I talked about in my previous video about my experience in Vancouver. I know about you that you're from Spain originally. Tell us more about how your story at Stepwest has began.
I arrived to Canada in 2014, although the company has been running since 2010. So Thomas started the company and he's French. He was actually an international student as well. And I was lucky enough to join the company in 2014. And since then, it's crazy that this coming February is going to be 5 years that I'm here. And it has been an amazing experience because I got the chance to be on the other side. I've been always on the side where people are traveling. I've been traveling abroad since I'm 20, well, not really, 16, I will say, that I did my first exchange. And after that, I've been in different countries, living in different cities. So getting the chance of working for Stepwest was to me perfect. It was my ideal job because I know what it's being on the other side, being a client. So that's what it was so rewarding because I kind of knew what somebody was expecting when they were doing these kind of experiences. So yeah, that's how I started at the company. And since then, the company has grown so much and I'm actually really proud of what we've done so far. By now, we're a recognized organization by the government of Canada. And we've seen so many people coming through you, Felicia. It's been crazy that it's been so long since you did the program with us.
I sincerely want to congratulate you for your activity at Stepwest. As you said, you can feel how it is to be in the client's shoes, the students and young professionals that come to Stepwest. And will you please present us the variety of programs offered by Stepwest?
Basically, our main product are work experiences. So everybody that contacts Stepwest is because they want to work in Canada. What happened is due to regulations, there is some countries that can come with a program and some countries that can come with another type of program. So we are a recognized organization by the government of Canada, and that means that we work with their program, International Experience Canada. So International Experience Canada has 34 countries that they have agreement with. So those people can come to Canada with a working holiday, for example. If you come to Canada with working holidays, then we make sure that we get you a job either in a resort in the Canadian Rockies, like working in Whistler or in Banff or Jasper. And then we do have programs in the city of Vancouver if you're more of a city person and you want to have city life. And we also do student internships. So we do work with a lot of students from Europe that they're doing maybe business schools or international trade or something like marketing. And they do want to have a short experience abroad, a work experience abroad. So we do place them in internships in Toronto, Vancouver, or Montreal, right? And then we have the other side of the company as well, that we offer programs where the work experience is also the main component, but those programs are aimed for guys that want to still have the work experience in Canada, but there is no agreement with International Experience Canada. That's kind of the program that we did with you, Felicia, when you came to Canada. It was a study and work option. And the good thing is that it also allows you to work since day one, since you arrived, and you do 50% of a study and work combination, and then the other 50% of the program is just work. So at the end of the day, you work more than when you study, which makes it really attractive for many people who want to still have the work experience, but maybe they cannot only come for work. So that's basically what we do, everything based on work experiences.
Based on what criteria do you determine the eligibility of someone who wants to participate in a study, work, and travel program?
So for the study and work programs, it's kind of difficult at the beginning, right? To say oh, you're going to be eligible for the program because you need to go through a visa application process, right? But from our experience, the good thing is we can tell a little bit, right? So there is some countries like where it's really easy to get the study and work permit to do this type of programs. There is countries like Mexico or Europe, like Spain, Germany, that they can come and get this work permit in a pretty easy way. Like it's not a really complicated process, but there is some countries who might need a little bit of help of an immigration consultant to put their application together. When we receive an application for somebody, their general requirements are really easy. So you need to have at least an intermediate level of English, and you need to have at least a high school degree. If you graduated from high school and your English is pretty okay, like you can actually communicate, then you pass the exam, of course, then you're gonna be eligible for the program. What comes a little bit into the second stage of the process is to see if you are going to be eligible for the visa. We can of course give you advice. We have a lot of clients who can do the process on their own, but if we see a tiny difficulty, or we see that we're not 100% sure, we will always tell our clients to seek for an immigration consultant help. Many times it's definitely worth it to put yourself in the hands of a professional who can advise you how you do your application, instead of just risk it and go to apply on your own, right? I always tell everybody, like, doing a visa application for Canada is not something that you need to take as like, I'm just gonna apply and try. You really need to be careful, because then when you apply again, if you got visa denied, they're gonna ask you, have you ever get visa denied? So it's always better to say no instead of saying yes because I did a mistake. So that's basically how we kind of advise our clients. We spend a lot of time at the beginning of the process because we want to make sure that we can help our clients. We don't want to take it, like just do the exam and that's it. This is what you're going to do. We do spend a lot of time. And I think that's why our clients ended up being so happy.
So what happens after someone gets accepted and they get their visa? Like what they should expect when embarking in their travel and work experience?
That's a really good question, because I always like to answer that question. Many people, when they do this type of experiences, when you see the advertising of this type of work and travel experiences, it's all about like having fun and knowing people from other countries, and just like everything, it's super positive, which it is. But I always tell everybody, you need to expect to work really hard. So it's gonna be a really challenging experience. You're gonna learn a lot, but it's not gonna be only having fun and meeting people. Like, you're gonna work hard, and the good thing is that it's gonna be a really rewarding experience when you finish and you look back, right? Many times I have clients that they just arrived to Canada and they come to the office after the first day of like their job or the classes, and they're like, Carolina, I'm actually having difficulties because I don't understand what people are saying. My boss is telling me things, but I don't understand, and I feel shy of asking because I don't want them to think that I'm not understanding. And many times it's just a matter of time. Like at the beginning, you're gonna be tired of like being completely super awake trying to understand everything because it's not your language. But after a little bit, you feel like you feel that you accomplished something. You look back and you're like, okay, I did this on my own, and I did it fine, and nobody was helping me. It was just me getting used to a new culture and a new language. So of course, like, expect to have like one of the best experiences you ever had, and it's addictive because many people who start to travel and had this type of experience, then they get going. Because it's so cool, like, to start to meet people from other countries and being in situations that you never been in your home country before, right? But I also say, and I tell everybody, because I experienced it myself, and I think this is something that you also will agree with me, like, you need to expect to work really hard and to expect to get to do everything on your own. Like, nobody's gonna help you. Even though we try to make the process super easy for our clients, at the end of the day, it's gonna be you and your work experience and your new life in a new city on your own. So it is rewarding, but it's also hard.
Would you tell me, please, what makes Stepwest so unique?
I think it's because we're not an agency like a regular agency that you will find either on your own country or here in Canada. we do the functions of like, or the activities that an agency will do, but we're also going to be your work experience provider. So we're also going to be with you through the process. It's not only the fact of bringing you to Canada and join a program, is that through the program, we're going to be with you. At the same time, we're like the other way around. So when you go to the country that you are planning to travel, we are going to be there to welcome you. And we are going to be guiding you through your work experience. Not only we're going to guide you, we're also going to help you to find your first work experience. And I find that really helpful, because when you arrive to a new country and you start a program and you need to like, okay, let me start to work to find a job, it's always good to have a little bit of advice and somebody kind of guiding you through interviews and like where to like start your process. After you get your first job interview or after you get your first job, it doesn't mean you're going to stay in that job for like the whole year. After that, you can like move on to other experiences, but it kind of sets you up for what is coming next. So you start at some point, you start to get the experience, you start to get some references, and then you move into a new experience. Some people really enjoy the first experience and they stay there their whole stay in Canada in the same job, but many people just change and they get other opportunities, right? It is true that also, as I mentioned before, the fact that I did these kind of programs myself, and I've been doing this job for so long, the same as my colleagues that work with us. We kind of know the feeling and like the fears that you might have at the beginning. So it's really good for us and rewarding for us to see how people like start at some point and then start to succeed and like move to other positions that are more rewarding. So yeah, I think the main difference with us is that we help you through your program once you're here. And also that at the beginning of the process, we spend a lot of time with our clients because we want to make sure that the program they're enrolling for is the right one for them. We want to make sure that when you arrive here, you know where you are going for. I've been facing situations of people who has show up in Canada with a program and they tell me, well, when I was in my country, they told me I will be doing this, this, and that. And sadly, that's really common with many people that do an experience and they expect something that doesn't happen. So that's why we want to completely avoid that. And that's why when our clients arrive to Canada, the process is so smooth because we spend so much time explaining what our programs are about, that when they come, they know exactly what to expect. So that's what I always want to have when I was an international student. And that's what I'm trying to project and do with Stepwest, along with the whole team that work with us.
In the end, I would like you to share, if you don't mind, any tips, advices for those who want to study and work abroad.
So the first thing it will be like, if you can find advice or help, try to get as much information as you can about the place that you want to go. Try to look for reviews or like websites that talk about the experience you want to have. There is a lot of offer for these type of programs here in Canada, in Australia, wherever you're planning to go. There is so much information that can be overwhelming. So always try to seek advice on somebody that either you get referred to or somebody that you have read a lot from that person or you have seen that there is a bunch of good reviews. So try to always find somebody that is going to support you through the whole stay. And before you take the decision, get all the information you can. At the same time, I also would recommend everybody to the language is important. So learning English as much as you can back home is important. But it's also true that when you arrive here, even if you learn so much, when you arrive, it's gonna be like, oh, it feels like it's my first time speaking English or learning or communicating in the language. So it's always gonna feel weird when you need to start, but don't be ashamed of having mistakes and things like that. Just believe that you can do a good job and you're gonna be able to have a great experience. Be open to know as many people as you can because it's all about networking and getting to know people from other cultures. and be ready for a change. So everything is going to be different than back home, but if you actually want to have the experience and want to learn and really want to work hard, it's going to be so rewarding by the end. When you look back and you see everything that you have accomplished through that whole year or 2 years that you spent abroad, you're going to be really proud of yourself. That's for sure.
Carolina, thank you very much for sharing this valuable information with us. It's been a pleasure to see you again, and I hope to see you soon when I come down to Vancouver. I will definitely visit you and bring you some candy.
Feliz, it was really good to see you. We will be more than happy to see you at the office again. It feels that it was yesterday when you brought us your sweets from your country. It was amazing. And it's always good to reconnect with you, honestly. Like, to me, this is what makes my job really rewarding, like keeping in touch with it's what motivates me, and it's why I wake up every Monday morning excited to go to work, because you get to help people that are having like their own adventures in the country, and it's always good to hear back from them. So we're super happy that you sent me that email to do this today.
Keep helping people, believing in their dreams and making them come true.
Thank you.